Good Sunday morning, gentlemen of the BFFL. It's a pleasure to talk to you again. As your commissioner, I just wanted to set a couple things straight as we have 3 weeks left until our fantasy baseball draft. That's right, 3 weeks. The original date had been March 20th. Obviously, with the collective bargaining agreement being signed just recently, we have postponed that until Sunday, April 3rd. 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So my boys in the Central, that's 2 o'clock in your world, I believe. All right, so that's 3 weeks. And as you make your draft preparations, I want you to be thinking about some things because I want to put out on the table adding some additional roster positions. I say this because as we go from 12 to 10 teams, that's going to open up an additional 48 players onto the waiver wires. Now, part of the appeal of the BFFL has been the waiver wire wasteland, if you will. That the fact that you have to really study up and you have to know what you're looking for in the waivers and not just go click top available. Oh, look, he's number 63 over the past 3 weeks, and nobody owns him. I'll take him right now. We try to avoid that here. Once you have to do research and really look for what you need. So with that being said, I'm going to throw a couple proposals out on the table into the BFFL polls. Proposal number 1. That would be adding 3 additional roster spots. Those roster spots would constitute of 1 infield. So right now we have first base, second base, third base, shortstop. The 1 infield position would be INF, and that could constitute any player that plays those positions. So your INF could be an additional first baseman, second baseman, shortstop, or third baseman. Okay? An additional utility player, which we know how utility players work, so each team would now have 2 utility players, and 1 relief pitcher. With the shortened spring training, we know we're going to come out of the gate with shorter innings pitched out of our starters. That's just the way baseball is going in 2022 as well. So adding an additional relief spot, we have 2 now. We would bump it to 3. That would leave us with 10 pitchers that you start on a daily basis and 12 offensive players that you start. Right now it's a 10-9 ratio. That would bump it to 12 and 10. Proposal number 2. Which in proposal number 1, that would still leave an additional 18 players that had previously been rostered still on waivers. So almost 2 additional players that would have been on Ben or Alex's team would now be on waivers. Okay, so just throwing that out there. In proposal number 2, that would be 4 additional players being added that we would draft. Rosters would increase from 24 players to 28 players in our auction draft. That would constitute 1 infield position, as we previously mentioned, 1 utility position, as we previously mentioned, 1 relief pitcher, as we previously mentioned, and then 1 additional pitcher position. So that would mean we have 3 starting pitchers, 3 relief pitchers in this scenario, and 5 pitcher positions, which would then, on a starting basis day to day, which would then bring us to 12, which would then bring us to 12 and 11 players on offense and pitching that we start on a daily basis, or 23 total players, and also increasing roster sizes from 24 to 28. So just 2 proposals to think about. I do want to add extra positions. If anybody has additional thoughts, I'm open to those, but right now those are the thoughts that I have in mind, adding either 3 or 4 roster spots per start on a daily basis. So I'll post it in the Slack poll. Please check it out. Let me know what you guys think. Good luck doing your final research before we have our auction draft in 3 weeks. Take it easy. Commish out.